Right, it has been a magnificent 500 years of time-lapse era. It's currently the year 2957. That time-lapse only took us about 7 hours to actually do, which is always nice. It means that we actually get some stuff done, which is always delightful. Let's get this party underway and see what we actually have. Where did the universe end up on? Well, as you can see, the Prethoryn Scourge is surprisingly strong. Their base territory is nothing interesting. The Unbidden are still in exactly the same place as they were, and the Sejani Enclave is still there. Overall, though, the Terran Empire are definitely the most strongest guys in the universe, and one thing that I found fascinating is actually they've managed to research 18 levels of getting planets. So right now, we are actually controlling 23 planets directly, and there's a significant amount of hilarity involved in that. Look at that. That is a lot of worlds that we're directly controlling over a period of 1,000 years. Another thing I wanted to point out as well, if we quickly go to our technology tree here, we're all doing like the lifespan stuff. Our leaders, how old do they actually get? This is probably a fascinating question to ask. 81, I see 121. That's pretty good. Some 140. Fleet consciousness is 525 years old. It's always nice. So that's all going pretty well. The Tumbaktor nations are pretty much all gone. There's some small stuff just right here, the Tumbaktor Confederacy, but that is pretty much it on that behalf. One thing I do want to point out is the following. Now, considering the Prethoryn Scourge have managed to take a couple of small systems throughout, it does mean that stuff like this has happened. They've got all the transport ships in the world, so if we wanted to genocide all of them, that would be totally possible. They've got little stations all over the place, but they're not really colonizing anything, really. There's a bunch of stuff going on here I'm not really all that keen on. Look at all these transport ships we have, though. That's so much. Also, we have a fleet capacity of 1,000, but we're using 1,600 of that, which is completely batshit insane and should definitely not be done whatsoever. Our Prethoryn Queen, which we have, has managed to grow into a fine piece of ass. What do we got here? Fleet Consciousness. Oh, this is artillery battleship. Oh, fair enough. So Fleet Consciousness is actually controlling a big chunk of the fleet. I'm really curious on how many ships we got actually in total. Let's just merge them all together for funsies and see what's going on. Oh my god, we're undocking instantly. We're completely out of money. Also, this is probably not the greatest thing in the world. In the meantime, though, let's tag into another nation, see what we can find. The Hunstar Republic. How are you guys doing? You've got 12 planets they can control. They got almost no fleet power whatsoever, and they're pretty much on their last legs. That is really nice. The Great Andorran Empire. Not doing all too swell either. Completely being annihilated left, right, and center. Let's take a look. The Isandrian Confederacy actually has a fleet of 15k. Not too bad, not too shabby. Just hanging around. Won't be able to do anything for a little while, though. So, the Tumbaktor Confederacy. Pretty decent fleet here. A couple of battleships. Nothing too crazy. Doing just fine. Technology-wise, they are basically doing all the 300 months. That's pretty crazy. So yeah, overall, the galaxy seems to be pretty decent. Nobody has managed to do anything concrete in over a few hundred years. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. The Terran Empire controls the galaxy, and sadly enough, the Unbidden have left a territory full of barren worlds behind that we sadly cannot colonize. Well, we could colonize, but for some reason the Terran Empire decided not to do anything with that, which is fine. And that will wrap up this series. I hope you had a fun time with this. I definitely did. And, you know, warping into the future about for 500 years has definitely made things a little bit more interesting, as it's almost the year 3000. Nothing has changed, but they live underwater, etc., etc. And, yeah, it's been a fascinating series. I'm actually surprised that we managed to survive as long as we did, first the Prethoryn Scourge and the Unbidden, and knock them down a notch as well, while in the meantime. So, which is fascinating. Hope you enjoyed this series. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other.